Hi, welcome back to my Adobe Photoshop lesson. This lesson is Adobe Photoshop Fundamentals Part 2. And let's do some cool stuff, okay? Continuing from the previous video, this is we stop at this second rectangle object here. Let's create the layer. Okay, so okay, right. So you can see from here, I have a second layer, rectangle layer. It's called rectangle 2. The problem with it is that when I created this rectangle object, the color does not follow my what I've set here, right? So never mind. What I need to do is to make sure I select this layer, and then I'll go to this icon here, which is the properties panel. Okay, so you can see here there's a box here. You just need to click, and of course there's some recently used color. All right, of course I can also click here, so I can pick a color here and then pick another color here, and then click OK. All right, so this is how I change the color. All right, so you can see from now I have created two rectangular objects, and they are placed in two different layers. Okay, so this is how Adobe works. If you use Adobe for design, that means you use Adobe Photoshop to do design, and means that you have to create objects, you have to design, you have to draw, you have to make sure that each object is placed in a single layer. Why? Because this is how you can manipulate each object. Okay, so let's say for example I want to, let's say, click on the move tool. So make sure that this is selected, auto select. So right now I can actually move the object here individually freely. I can manipulate each of this object because they are in a different layer. So imagine both of these objects are in one layer. I cannot do that. Okay, so that's the fundamental idea of Photoshop layering. Okay, so and then I'm gonna come back to the part that I set the just now I set the history states to 1000. Remember that? Okay, right. So the reason for this is that now you can see the history here. Okay, so this is actually recording what you have done, what I have done so far. So I have set the actions to 1000 actions. So that means it will record 1000 actions before it goes back here to overwrite from the beginning and then start all over again. Okay, so we need to just set it one time in our PC, and that's it. We don't have to set it again. Okay, so this is very important because you don't want to lose your history. Okay, so coming back to this part here, right? So I'm just going to create another object here using this tool here. I'm just going to select ellipse tool, and I'll create a circle. So I'm just going to make sure I want to create a perfect circle. All right. So I'll just press and hold the shift key. Okay. So I'll just create a circle here. Okay, so when you press and hold the circle, all right, you can you press and hold the shift key, you can create a perfect circle. Let's say if I drop it like that, so I just let go my mouse and let go my shift key. All right, you can see that the circle becomes comes out, and then this properties window will pop out again. Okay, I just need to click here and then Just need to click a different color. Okay. Oops. So why is this also change color? Let's have a look. It's because that the circle is actually has landed in this rectangle tool here. Okay, so we need to be careful with this. So we just go back to our history here. So I just click click one back. All right, backwards. Okay, so to undo the circle. So that means that while I'm using this particular tool here, and if I want to create a different object, I need to create a new layer. It doesn't create a new layer for me. All right, so that's how, I don't know, it's like that. Okay, so what I need to do is um, just now when I created these two rectangles, I didn't have to create a new layer. It will create a new layer for me. But if I change the shape to a circle, it will land into this one of this whichever that I'm selected, the layer. Okay, so before I create that circle object, I need to make sure that I create a new layer. Let's come over here and create a new layer. So I have a new layer here. Okay, and I'll go ahead and select the circle. Right, so right now I'm just going to draw a circle while pressing and holding the shift key. Okay, so so I just let go and then the circle comes out, and of course the properties panel pops up again. I'll just pick another color here. Okay, so let's say this color, and this time if I look at my layer, okay, it actually falls into the new layer that I created. All right, so right now I just need to move this about. Okay, so as you can see that this layer here, this circle object, is appearing in front of the other two rectangles. Okay, so I want it to be behind the two rectangles. So what I do is I will go to the layers here. What I do is I would click and drag and then drop it at the bottom here. Okay, so as you can see that the circle has landed at the bottom. It means whatever is at the bottom, it's gonna be appearing behind everything. Okay, so you can see I can adjust this one. These two are actually in front of the circle. Alright, so if I want the green to appear behind the circle, I just need to drag it and drop it here. Okay, so now it's actually, the order is like that, right? Alright, so this is basically the fundamentals of Photoshop. It's all about layers. Okay, and with layers and your object in one layer, you can manipulate this object. Alright, so what we do is first of all, let's say if I want to resize this rectangle here, what I do is I go to edit. Okay, and let me see. Yeah, free transform is not available. Okay, hold on. Right. Okay. So this, we are going to try to manipulate each of these object here. So we will start with the blue rectangle. Alright, so first of all, you need to select the rectangle here, select the layer, or you click here also can. Alright, make sure that it's selected. So just go to edit, go to free transform. So you can see the handles here, you can actually drag, it will edit the shape, you can rotate it. Okay, so let's say if I want to edit the shape, I just need to press and hold the shift key to maintain the ratio. Alright, so I just try to resize it a little bit, and then I can rotate it like that. Okay, right, and then I can resize it more again. Right, so okay, So remember, just remember to release your mouse first before you release your shift key. Okay. So when you are confirmed, then you just press the enter key. Okay. And same goes to this one here. Select the circle. Uh, so the shortcut for free transform is Command T or Control T. So let's say if I'm often use the free transform tool, I would actually use my shortcut Command T to activate it. So it's easier. Okay. So I just resize this one here. Press enter. And same goes with this one. Command T to resize it. Alright, so I can just put it higher, big. Okay, right. So right now I've created these three objects, and they are all in different layers, and you can actually manipulate them right individually. And this is just this is probably what Photoshop is about. Apart from using Photoshop to do image editing, and that will be some other lessons that I will talk about. But if you are talking about designing in Photoshop, Photoshop can do lots of design with the tools here, and it is also very powerful. And but before you can do that, you have to understand the fundamentals. All right, so this is what the fundamentals is. The fundamental is basically having objects in individual layer and having to know how to manipulate them. Okay, so this is basically so before we wrap it up, I just want to save this file into first of all, let's go to file, save or save as also can. So I just need you to save a file in Photoshop format, which is PSD, and then name the file, let's say objects. Okay, and then so when you save this file, make sure it's format with Photoshop. Okay, when you save this file, next time when you open it, you have the layers, and you can further manipulate the objects in these layers. Okay, so that's the good thing about it. And of course, you can also save file, save as. You can actually go to the format here and then save as a JPEG file, or a BMP, or a PNG file, or sometimes a PDF file. Okay. Okay, so for when you want to share your file with others, right? Okay.